Hello and welcome to session 2 of my class of Keys to Success. I wanted to do it live, but just to prove the point in my class, Zoom decided not to work and Facebook decided not to work. That happens every single time. Once you are set to do something, something happens. And here's the thing. A thought creates a feeling that creates an action that creates a result. I could be really upset about it right now, but things happen for a reason, and this is just an explanation of part of my class. So that's really exciting. So thank you for joining me. I know this is not live now, but you're joining me to watch session 2 of my Keys to Success. I'm Paulina Fernandez. I'm a senior sales director with Mary Kay. I've been building a very successful business for 14 years, almost 15. We're taking it to the next level, to national level. And my job is really to empower women with tools that they can use to create their own business. So I build business women. That's really what I do. And it's exciting because 14 years ago, I wouldn't be able to do this class because I didn't have the tools myself. But the practice, the learning, the mentors, and everything that was provided for me have taken me to where I am today. So my hopes is that my class, even if you're not in Mary Kay, give you something that you can learn and you can apply to your life. So tonight, I'm going to do that. I'm going to explain to you 3 concepts, only 3 concepts tonight, and I hope you enjoy them. I hope you learn from them and you can maximize it. You can maximize your life with it. So the first concept that we're going to talk about, and these are 3 keys that I had to develop. Now, the ones I gave you in the previous session were things that I had in me, okay, that I had to tweak and learn how to do, but I could learn how to do them fast because they were inside of me. Now, these I had to work with, okay? So here's the thing. Sometimes those skills that you need are not inside. You gotta develop them, and everything in this businesses is developed. And so I know you can develop into the businesswoman you want to be. So here's what I learned. The first one, the first key I had to learn how to do was consistency. And you're probably looking at this band and thinking, what is she wearing? And that's not, it's a rubber band. And that is for working my emotional part, but I'll tell you that about it later. So consistency. Consistency is acting or doing something the same way. Now, I got this from the dictionary online. I wanted to give you this exact answer. So it's acting or done the same way over time, okay? So what it meant to me was to do my business, even if it was by little, every single day, every single day, every single day, because practice doesn't make perfect. Just practice makes permanent. It becomes a habit. And that's why you practice and practice and practice, and you do it and you do it and you do it. So that's what this is about, consistency. So there are 3 things in my business. Now, I don't know how your business works, and maybe if you're Mary Kay, you do know that there are 3 things to our business, but there were 3 things to my business that were 3 skills that I had to get. 3 skills that I didn't come with, okay? Remember my story, I was a chemical engineer. People to people thing wasn't my thing. Training people on how to do skincare and makeup wasn't. Yes, I would train other things and I would create what we called standard operation procedures or manuals. That was not exciting, but that's what I used to do. So here I am facing new skills to develop. So the first thing was connect with people. And that means if you have a business like mine, you are getting appointments every day. You're finding new people every day. You're reaching out to a customer every day. So you're creating new opportunities, and that is connecting with people. And so that's like one key. The second thing is you're demoing products. You're demoing products to sell them. I had never sold anything. So I was always so uncomfortable that I thought, what are people going to think of me for sales? I don't know what words to use. I don't know what to say and sound right. So all those tools had to be introduced into my whole system, okay? And then, and C was the third thing we have to do is we share the benefits of our business, because we build by building others. Okay, that's just how way our marketing situation is. Our marketing is we show the product, we teach you how to use it, and we also share the opportunity with you. That's it. That's it in a nutshell. So it's 3 things that I had to learn how to do. So I really think that you need to figure out what are those 3 or 4 skills that you have to master in order to do your business, whatever your business is. It could be you're a coach. So what are those skills that you need? It could be you're a hairstylist. So what are those skills that you need to do? And obviously, you know, that is not my thing, okay? But you decide what your ideal is, okay? And then that's where you start working. So now I want to give you an example. So let's say you decided that your ideal weight is going to be 160 pounds, okay? And so you decide that in order to get to 160 pounds, you need to exercise every day, and you need to watch what you eat, or you need to eat more salad, or you need to drink your shake. So you created a new pattern, and your brain will only get that pattern in once you practice it. And that's why women that are very skinny, or women that are very fit, didn't become very fit and very skinny all of a sudden, okay? It took work. And it was because they were creating a new plan in their mind, and they were doing it consistently. If you go on a diet, the only way that diet is going to work is if you're consistent. So when I used to teach spinning, I used to remember when a person came in, it was their first time, and it took them several months before they could actually feel excited on that bike, because it took consistency. But you know what? 9 times out of 10, I would lose those people in the second class because they wanted instant gratification. You know, changes like that are not microwave changes. So we can't change who we are overnight. That's why when you learn something, you have to learn it over and over and over and over and over. And every day you have to work at it, and your efforts will give you your results. So I'm asking you, what are your efforts? What are you picking to do every day? And once the efforts start rolling, it's like a little snowball. You know, you start with a little tiny crystal, and you roll it and you roll it, and all of a sudden it snowballs. That's called momentum. But that is because every little step builds onto the next one. So you need the little steps. You can't just go quantum leap. I'm going to quantum leap. You will quantum leap once you already have momentum. You will quantum leap once you have momentum, but getting the ball rolling is consistency, consistency, consistency. So I learned that not every day your work and your efforts will give you the results you want. And here's the thing, you need to tackle your day knowing that your efforts not every day will pay off. Like today, I'm telling you, because I was teaching this class today, none of my efforts took the turn that I thought it would take. But I wasn't married to the results. Hear me out. I wasn't married to the results. And I will talk to you about that in a little bit, because you cannot control certain things. You can control your effort, but you cannot control what comes out of it. So for example, I love Pilates, but when I stopped doing it for a whole week or a whole month, my body just is in pain. It's totally, totally in pain. So what I've learned is that I have to work on building slowly after my Pilates again. So that's key. I want to share those things with you, because we think that, oh, we're going to do we're going to do a class and then my body's going to look like the one in the instructor. No, I taught for 15 years. And by the time I was totally fit, it was years later when my body was already all solid. Okay. All right. It's the same with like when you learn how to make a recipe. The first time you make a recipe, it does not turn out as good, but the more you practice that recipe, the better it is. So there is a word that I always disliked, but then I realized I disliked it for the wrong reason. Discipline. The word discipline means doing something consistently. Discipline means you get more freedom. And once I understood that if I was disciplined in my job, or in my business or in my exercise or in my food, my results will come. And I really like the results. So I'm asking you, what kind of discipline are you going to implement in your business or in your life that is going to give you what you want? Now, there's a book I'm going to recommend, because consistency is also doing the right thing for your business, the thing that is going to take you to grow your business. There's one thing that we tend to do when we're entrepreneurs is to do a lot, but it's a lot of activity that is not going to take you to where you want to be. It's a lot of activity that is not going to take you where you want to be. So there is one thing in your business that will move you. There's one thing that if you do it consistently, will move you. And I know that in Mary Kay, well, for me, is about connecting, finding new people, connecting with new people, meeting new people, either through my customers, either through my friends, either on my own, but connecting with that new person. That is the one thing I cannot stop doing. That is the one thing that takes me to success, okay? That is the one thing that starts it all. It's like the match to start the fire. So that's the one thing. But there's a book I recommended. It's called The One Thing. Voila. It's called The One Thing. You can get it anywhere. It's by Gary Miller. Gary Miller wrote this book, and I really like it. It's very scientific look at it. It's not boring read. It's an easy read. But it really helps you identify the one thing in your business or in your life that you need to do to get from point A to point B. So I do recommend that. And it will help you identify yours. So in my first business, I identified that one thing. And it's actually my first step. So every day, that is my commitment to me. How can I connect with 5 new women every day? Now, it may not be yours. Maybe you need 20. Or maybe you don't need to connect with anybody, but it's something else. So I want you to learn. I want you to learn from me. But the one thing that makes a difference is the consistency in attacking that one thing that is going to move you forward. So consistency to do one thing. Not a million things, just one thing. Because that one thing will catapult you to the next. Second is preparation. Yes, preparation. Have you ever watched a TV show where they're teaching you how to cook? You never see the person looking in the fridge for the stuff, and if they do, it's just for show, and they already have it chopped somewhere else, and they have the little bowls all measured up, and everything is ready to go. And so that's how I want you to look at your life. Prepare to win. And how do you prepare to win? If you prepare to win, you will always win eventually. So prepare to win. So why do people go to school or do they go to college? To prepare their mind. They go to college and to school to prepare their mind. Because I'm telling you one thing, you probably don't remember what a war was about or what a treaty was about when you studied in history. You probably don't know what a simile is in English. You probably don't remember a formula in math. But what you did in school was prepare your mind. So it prepared you. So in every business and in every venture and in every life, there are skills that you need to learn and you need to master. So that's the first preparation you do. So you want to prepare so you can win. So prepare to win. So identify those skills that we talked about. Okay, we already talked about the 3 things that happen in my business. I don't know about yours, but you can identify them and identify those skills. So for example, one of the skills I had to master were the words. How do I make a phone call to get an appointment? What do I say? And I have to tell you, I was dreadful. I was dreadful because I was nervous. I didn't want a rejection. I didn't have the right words. And I was too straightforward and too blunt. So I didn't come across friendly. And I was so nervous and so afraid that I would just shake the whole time. And you can hear that in your voice. Okay. So I identified that I had to learn how to talk on the phone to get an appointment. I also identified that I had to learn how to do a demo presentation. And the only way I could learn it was by doing it. Because I could read it and memorize it, but until I started practicing it, I didn't get good at it. I did not get good at it. So this is really key. is practicing, is learning your script, as I call it. But I don't like to call it a script because a script sounds very starchy. It sounds like stiff. I want you to flow. I want you to be you, but learn the right words. Learn what excites people, what it doesn't, what is nice to say. And if you don't have something nice to say, don't say it. Okay. So it's all about learning that technique. How do you show the product? How do you offer the product? How do you share the opportunity? It's all in the communication. So I knew that I had to learn communication, and that was a skill. So that was a preparation I had to do. But the best thing is that normally you may not be ready, but every circumstance in your life and in your way will prepare you as long as you're open to that lesson. So be open to the lesson and take time to learn the skill. You know, there is a statistic, and you can read Malcolm Gladwell's book, that it takes 10,000 hours to master one skill. It takes 10,000 hours to master one skill. I would want to know, I've always done my phone calls to get my appointments every night. When I started, it was every night at 7 p.m. as long as I didn't have an appointment myself. If I had an appointment, then that night didn't get a phone call. I didn't phone call. But I did an hour of phone calls every single time. Now I've been doing that for 14 years and I still haven't stopped. What do you think? Do you think I'm better now than I was? Oh my God, absolutely, 100%. Oh, I think I would be 1,000% if that was possible. Because it's a whole like night and day. I had no idea what to say. I was nervous and now I'm relaxed and I'm happy on the phone. Like that confidence didn't happen overnight. It took years to build. And you know what? Between you and me, there are moments where I still don't like the no. There are moments where I still think this thing weighs 1,000,000 pounds. There are moments when I call you and you're my customer and you're not friendly on the phone and it hurts. But I know my dream is bigger than that. And I know it's a skill. And I know I can learn it. So it's 10,000 hours. Okay. That is one thing. Prepare yourself. Prepare yourself with every tool your company gives you, if you have that. If you're a brand new entrepreneur and there's no support for you because you started your own, do a lot of research. Look at other people that are running similar businesses or somebody that you admire that runs a business. How do they do it? Research. Prepare yourself. If you're selling a product, like I sell skincare and color, I became an expert in skincare and color, considering that 14, 15 years ago, I didn't wear anything. So see, the difference is that I want you to become an expert. You become an expert by learning, by practicing, by learning, by practicing, by looking up and researching. Number two that I learned in this preparation part is that I attended all the trainings. I attended all kinds of trainings. I still do. Everything Mary Kay offers, everything I go to. And there's even more I go to. I have a coach. I take mastermind classes. So it's always preparing my mind for more. We all want this position, correct, at the top. But this position requires a mindset and a preparation. And we're right here. And the only thing that would take us there is if we prepare it and we climb slowly that mindset. People don't jump from here to here. And if they do, they come right back down because their capacity mentally is not here. You got to prepare the brain first. Prepare it. Prepare the tools that you have to use. Prepare your skills. And so attending all the things that are available to you are great. You don't have money? Well, look for options that are free. There's a lot of free education, a lot of free resources. Google is great, okay? Now, you know how you can learn a lot? You can volunteer to help somebody that is successful, okay? So if you are in a network marketing like mine, you volunteer for your person that is your director or your upline or whatever you call it. We call it director, your mentor. If you don't have a mentor because you're in a totally different business, and say, for example, you're going to open a restaurant, What if you get a job for 2 weeks in a restaurant as a busboy, as a bus lady, or whatever you want to call it, busboy, and you learn the intricacies of a restaurant? See, you volunteer to do things to learn how to do them. And then you can move on after you learn the lesson. You don't have to stay there. So that's really key. And number 4 that I would do in preparation is be always ready with everything you need. So be prepared. But so how are you ready? Okay. I sell cosmetics and skincare. So I have every product with me at all times. That's a lot of product calling out. Well, I cherish my product. I believe good customer service requires delivering on the spot. So I have my product. I believe it's a store. That's how I do it. So I believe in that. But I always have my bags clean, packed with all the paperwork I need, with all the samples, with the mirrors, with everything that has to be done. My car at all times has every bag necessary. If you were to stop me in the street and ask me for a catalog, it's in my purse. If I want to talk to you in the street because you are super sharp, then I have a sample for you. But that's because I prepare myself. I have a basket with samples. I have a basket with clean mirrors. I have my car packed. I know what to say, how to say it. I have closing, I have like receipts. I have the product in hand. I have bags to supply product with. So it's those things, it's preparing all the little things, because if you prepare them, then you're ready for it. All right, so when I was a spin instructor, I didn't need all of that, but I had a bag. And in my bag, I was prepared. I had batteries for my microphone. I had 2 headsets. I had a towel. I had a change of clothes in case you needed. I had my shoes. I had my gloves. Everything was prepared. Even the music was prepared. So everything takes preparation. The same as when you cook, the same as when you do everything else in life. Even when you paint a wall, you have to prepare the wall. You have to sand it down, fill in the holes, patch it, prime it, and then paint it. So I'm asking you to look at your business or at your situation or your venture and say, how can I prepare? What can I have ready to go, ready for you? And then that's what you do. The third point that I want to talk to you about today is probably the one thing that we all struggle with. And I mean, we all struggle with it because of the way we were brought up, and we weren't taught this, and it takes an open mind to believe it, but it's called emotional management. If I can teach you one thing, that would be the one thing I would teach you. It is one of those things I'm still learning. And I don't think I'll ever be done with learning it. I think there are levels of it. And so maybe I started down here, but now I'm up here and I want to go up here. Okay. So we're still learning. It's a learning curve. The one thing I always say, and I want you to repeat to yourself, is not everyone is going to love you. And it's okay. Not everyone is going to love you. You know, you like me. So that's probably why you're watching me until now. But there are women that clicked on this video and say, oh, I don't like her hair. I don't like how she sounds. She's got a funny accent, whatever. I wasn't meant to be for her. And that's okay. But I was meant to be for you. So thank you for watching me. But I want you to know that not everyone is going to love you. And it's okay. Not everybody's going to accept you. And it's okay. Because you don't live for them. You live for you. Okay? So rejection is really hard to take when you make it about you. I want you to write that down if you want. Rejection is really hard to take when you make it about you. What does that mean, Paulina? Rejection is when somebody says no. When you own your own business, any kind of business, you're going to have a lot of no's. Because in order to get a yes, you need to get a lot of no's. So you're going to hit a ton of no's before you get a yes. That's just part of the business. I know that normally I make 20 phone calls to get one yes. But that's a number. But it still hurts. Because what happens is that we're human. And we put a a meaning to that no. We give that no a meaning, even though it doesn't have one. We just give it to it. We are like, I'm going to give it a no. I'm going to give it a meaning. It's all about me. They're rejecting me. So when they say no, it's like they're saying no to me. They don't like me. I'm not good enough. That's what you've been trained to say. And that's not really true. No means I'm not ready. I don't understand. I'm not interested. Not at this time. No is a huge wide world of things because you're now not in her brain. You don't know what that person is saying no to. So really no is not scary unless you make it about yourself. And so I'm going to ask you, are you making it about yourself? Because if you are, then it's going to hurt you and it's going to hurt you bad. And when you start your own business or when you have any venture, you will get a lot of no's and you got to be ready to receive them. So the first thing is, in order to be ready to receive them, learn your averages. Learn your averages. So I know that if I talk with 5 women, literally talk with 5 women, I will get a real yes. And I'm going to say what a real yes is. A real yes is a yes that there's true commitment behind it. There's true commitment behind it. You can hear it in her voice. There's not like, yeah, but no. It's yes, I want it on this day for this reason, and this is what I'm going to do. So there's true commitment. So out of 5 women, I know I get a true yes, okay? A real one. Now, I also know that I have to make 20 calls to at least get 5 people on the phone. And nowadays, people are so rude because they're not taught that answering a phone call is polite. So they don't answer the call. So now you're playing phone tag, text tag, whatever you want to call it. And I don't take it personal. I just say, oh, what a shame they were never taught properly. That's all I say. It's not a big deal. Okay, number 2 in this, an emotional management. Don't count on the results, count on your efforts. And make sure your efforts are in the right spot. Make sure your efforts are in the right spot. If you're looking for gold, you wouldn't go underwater because it's really hard. You would go look in mining, okay? So that's the whole goal. If you're looking for fish, you wouldn't look in the dirt. You would look in the ocean. So your efforts are very important. But when you are attached, the word attached to a result, that's when you get hurt. That's when you make it about yourself. And that's when you start putting yourself down a bad spiral. Understand cancellations. Rescheduling is normal. How many times have you rescheduled a doctor's appointment? How many times have you canceled on your hairdresser? How many times have you not made it to an appointment on time? It happens. Life happens. So why would it not happen to you? Okay, so that's just one thing I had to learn. Now, I'm intense. I told you this in my previous video. I'm very intense. And if I give you my word, I will do it. So I expect everybody to do that, but not everybody's like that. So at the beginning, I was really hurt. I was really hurt because I put all my efforts into it and it wasn't working. So that's what I'm going to talk to you about. I want you to release that. I want you to release that. Understand that cancellations and rescheduling, it's just part of the job. It's part of your business. It's part of your life. Not even if you have a business. Say you're a volunteer and you're helping to run a fundraiser for something. People are going to say no to you. So don't worry. It's just part of it. It's cancellations. People will back out on their own word. It's their decision, not yours. So please remember, in everything, there's going to be cancellations and rescheduling. Okay. Now, I love this, and I have to tell you this because it still hurts sometimes when I let it hurt because I choose to. See, I choose to let it hurt. You don't have to choose that. And so this is a problem here. When we choose to be a victim and let ourselves go down a spiral and take that hurt, that's on us. That's not on them. But when people are mean, they answer rudely, they throw the door at you, they hang up on you, they're just mean, or they say something nasty on Instagram or on Facebook, just remember, It doesn't say anything about you. What it's saying is all about themselves. So I'll say it. It doesn't say anything about you. It's all about her. So when she's rude, when she's mean, it's talking about her. It's not talking about you. And does it not feel so good to know that you're not the one? Okay? The other thing is, number 5, don't expect others to do what you're not willing to do. If you don't know how to do it, if you are not willing to do it, don't expect somebody else to do it. That's not fair. And they will see right through you. They will see right through you. Don't expect others to do for you. Do. And if they want to do, they can participate too. And I say it mostly because if you have a networking marketing business, some people think that they should just sit and wait for everybody else to work and they'll just collect the money. But that's not how it works. People are watching you. They're watching you more closely than you think. Okay. Expectations you place on others always backfire. Expectations you place on others always backfire. You know why? Because you're expecting her or him to do something based on how you think, but that person thinks differently. So you are completely out of your league. You are not God. You cannot control it. So your expectation of others to do something will always disappoint you. Always disappoint you. Your children, everybody. If you expect things to be done a certain way and you don't tell somebody that you're expecting that, you're assuming, it will always backfire. If you put your hopes on somebody else because you put expectations on them, your hopes will be crushed. So that is another thing I want you to learn. Now, you're probably asking about the rubber band. The rubber band is a really awesome trick that you can look it up, and a lot of people teach it. Is when you're negative, you smash it and you stop that negative thinking and you turn it around to a positive thinking, and then you either pat yourself or you kiss yourself. And what you're doing is interrupting a negative thought and imprinting a positive thought. And that's called imprinting in your brain. And it's a theory to help you reprogram your brain, because we've been programmed through school, through our parents, through watching things. And it's things that we really don't believe in, but there are beliefs that are stuck in there. And they keep coming and talking to you. And remember, what you hear and hear is what you're going to see up front. So if you're only hearing negative, everything around you is going to be negative. Okay, so that bend is really important. I keep it with me because there will be one day that I'll have a complete day with no negative thoughts. And I hope you have it too. Okay, next point, overbook your appointments. So if you run a business that has appointments, overbook your appointments. Someone is always going to cancel, forget, or reschedule. So always overbook yourself. Doctors do. You call and they say, oh yeah, your appointment's at 10. You get there are 3 people for the 10 o'clock. And if you didn't get there first, you're the third one at the 10 o'clock. I don't know how many 10 o'clocks do they have, but they do. But they do. And when you don't overbook yourself, then you're counting on appointments that are going to fall off your book. So it's better to have three too many than 0. Okay, so overbook. All right, this one I want you to highlight, because this one was a doozy for me. Was a really big doozy, and I'm highlighting it again because this one, when I say it, you're gonna cringe, and it was hard for me to accept that your self-worth is not based on your business success. Your self-worth is not based on your business success. You are magnificent, amazing, unique, and wonderful with or without that success. But that was the hardest lesson I had to learn, because I'm very competitive, and when I did not win, I put myself down really bad, and my self-worth was in jeopardy. But my self-worth is no longer related to my business success. So I'm asking you, are you linking your self-worth to your business success? And how do you know? It's because of you're always asking, what are people going to say? If that is a question you hear a lot, I want you to ask yourself, why am I asking myself that? What are people going to say? Okay. Number 10, don't compare yourself with others. You will always come short because you're comparing your worst to their best. You're comparing your worst to their best. Or what about if you compare yourself with an imaginary standard? Oh, that's even worse, because that imaginary standard is perfect and perfection is not achievable. So here you are, Miss Imperfect, beautiful woman anyway, but you're imperfect. And then there is this amazing imaginary standard that is like the perfect Barbie. I call it the Barbie because I grew up in the Barbie era. You know, the Barbie was the prettiest doll in the room. So the Barbie perfection. And here you are, imperfect you. And then you're trying to be this person, but you're not. You weren't born to be perfect. You weren't born to be this girl. So you're always coming short. And once you start doing that, you spiral down. You feel horrible and you only bring bad things to yourself. So learn that, because I've been there, done that. It's not a cute t-shirt to buy. Okay. Number 11, and it's my favorite. This is the one thing that always takes me out of my emotional down spirals. And I'm not going to say we don't have them. I may not have as many as I used to, but I still do. There's still days that you're like, oh, God, it's emotional, it's spiral. I'm on the down part. But you can get yourself out of it. And I'm going to teach you how. Be grateful. I love the word grateful. It took me a while to figure out how to implement it in my life, because I was go, 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 and I want more and I want more, and I don't have this and I don't have that, and I don't have this and I don't have that. And I was focused on what I didn't have. But when I started learning how to be grateful for what I have, my life turned around. So once you're in a spiral, or even every morning, be grateful and focus on what you do have, not what you don't have. Focus on what you do have and not what you don't have. And always be very grateful. Be very grateful. So that is my class for tonight. I know if you've got a ton of nuggets, take the 1 or 2 or 3 that you want to implement. Remember, consistency is the key, because it will build that not perfection, remember, permanence in your system. And you will do the one thing that has to be done every day to get to the next level. Second is prepare yourself, prepare your mind, prepare your bags, prepare your business, prepare your office, prepare everything so that you can hit the road running and not worry about it. Okay, that you're always ready to go. Number 3, it will be emotional management. And just welcome to this fun ride, because it is a ride. It's something you're going to love. Focus on being grateful. Remember, not everybody's going to love you, and find the great things in you, and have a wonderful time learning how to apply some of those things that I have learned over the last 14 years. Thank you for watching this session, and I'll see you in the next one.